Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. I'm Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly high. Through the rain, through the fire. This is my club, my only desire.
Hi guys, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, and welcome to After the Presser. Yes, when we go over Ange Postecoglou, sorry, don't know why I say Thomas Frank's press conference from yesterday as we build up to the lead to the Aston Villa game. And yes, we are going to talk a little bit on Ange Postecoglou. He has been sacked as Nottingham Forest manager a minute or so after their 3-0 defeat to Chelsea today. A lot of rumours going out. Some say there was a fight in the tunnel. Some say he just said his goodbye, packed his bags and out the door. He will get a nice bit of a payoff, I would say, from Nottingham Forest. I would say there will be a nice little payoff for him. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not surprising, is it? Really, not surprising. 90. Oh, it's not really surprising, is it? Really, and to be honest with you, I couldn't give a flying fuck about it. It's all about Spurs for me. He was our previous manager, and look, he went to Forest, didn't do well, got the sack. Where will he end up next? God only knows. But hopefully, no. I don't think he's a Premier League manager. I really don't. I don't. I think he's a manager that can manage in other leagues. But I think the Premier League is possibly a league too far for him. And look, and that's just my opinion. I do you know what? If he does come back and comes back to a lower league championship side or a Premier League side and does it well, fair play to him. But it's 39 days enough to really save your job? I don't think so. But that's the Premier League for you, isn't it? It's all about money. You look at the way Forest were last season, flying high in the league, looking to be qualified with the Champions League. And he got the sack from it. And look, you can blame him. I think the players have to take responsibility too. I really do. It's like the players last season. Players have to take responsibility for their own failures, for the way they perform. But, you know, we all knew what the Forest chairman is like. He's now changed it again. I think he made a mistake in sacking Nuno, and I think he's realising that now. Nuno's now at West Ham. So, Forest could easily go down this year, and I think it will be the owner's fault. But 39 days, is it long to really stamp your authority or stamp your identity on a football club? It's not. It really isn't. But look, it is what it is. So Ange Postecoglou has been sacked as Nottingham Forest manager 39 days after taking charge. And seeing this now, look, in my own view, right, I find it very hard, really, because I know Ange from Celtic. I'm a massive Celtic fan, and I know what he can do. And yes, we all know that the Scottish League's not the same as the Premier League. We all know the J League's not the same as the Scottish League. So there's always step ups all the time. I'm hoping Brendan Rodgers leaves Celtic and Ange goes back to Celtic. I think that's where he will fit back in. I think that's the club. I would love him to. If he does that, then I'm a happy bunny. Um, but I do feel what Forest are going through now is a little bit of, you know, I think a little bit of over the end Morgan Gibbs White deal in the summer. I think there's a little bit of karma personally, and I've got nothing against Forest. Quite like Forest as a team. Quite like, got nothing against Forest fans. But I think when you're owner, this is a little bit of karma, and personally. But as I said, it's 39 days long enough to stamp your authority on a football club. It's not, but it is what it is, and it's the nature of the beast, isn't it? It's the nature of the Premier League. So, it is what it is. Big up to Jared O'Connor. You got to hand it to Ange. He has broken all records now. He has as well. And big up to Mr. E. He says, Agent Ange took revenge for the summer case over Morgan Gibbs White. Yep, that is so true. But we're not here to talk about Ange Postecoglou. We're here to talk about, let me smooth me. Let me sit myself there. Hopefully that might work, actually. Hopefully. Oh, what? No, that doesn't work. Let me sit over here. Let me go here. There we go. There we go. That is better. There we go. Right. This is Thomas Frank's press conference from yesterday, guys. This is me going through it. I haven't picked all of it. I've only picked selected questions out. Looking to go probably for about 20 minutes. That's all. We are back tonight at 8 with the members show for our members for the pre-look before the Aston Villa game tomorrow. So please join me for that if you can. He was asking, how's the squad looking? He turned around. Thomas Frank said that Colo has trained now for 2 weeks with the team, so that's good. He's looking better and better. He will be in contention for tomorrow. On that, firstly, I think that's great news for us because it gives us a second option for playing the striker. And also, he needs minutes in the Premier League. I really do. So I think it's great news that he's back and he's in contention for tomorrow. That's been it. Will he start? I don't think so. I think they might bring Richie off with an hour to go, with half an hour to go after the hour mark, and then bring Kulo on for the last half hour. Let him get back in. Don't forget, we've got Monaco on the week as well, plus another game, Everton away next Sunday. So if you look at it that way, I think he's got a couple of games ready to start. I would want him starting for the Everton game. For me, that's just my preference. For tomorrow, so that's positive. Dom Solanke's progressing well. After the surgery, he's been on the pitch. He is progressing and he's going forward, so that's good. Biss unfortunately had the situation with the national team. I think everyone saw that. So he's got a ligament injury to his ankle that will keep him out for weeks. For me, on Basuma, look, I feel sorry for him that he's got an injury, but rarely has it been in Thomas Frank's plans over the last sort of 3 months since Thomas Frank's been there, and the answer to that is no. So it's probably he wouldn't have played anyway tomorrow, but I feel sorry for him that he's picked up an injury playing for his national side, but it's unlucky. On Dom Solanke, it's great that he's back, but we do need to improve up front. That's something where we do need to improve. Are we missing Dom Solanke? We probably are a little bit missing him with his work rate and the way he drops deep and links up play. I think we are. But I think I'm over the moon that Colo is, he's in contention, which is all we wanted to hear. Big up to Mary W. Dermo. If he had stayed, he would have been relegated. So would Forest. Yeah, I agree with you, Mary. Absolutely. Colo looks better. Hope he does Stone's weight. He does look a bit overweight, actually, but he may get back into match fitness. Mr. E says we're hurting up top with Richie. I think he might be tired for having a new baby because it just doesn't look active for one. I hope Dom comes back soon. I say Dom might be back after the last international break. I think so. Big up to Mary. She says overweight. Yeah, I got what you mean. And also, he's got no chance to play him, even though I have my doubts about him. If he was any good, he'd be still in Paris. Mind you, that's so true as well, Gerard. You make a very good point there. Then he was asked how will it, he was then asked about Paratici, and of course, Paratici returning to Tottenham this week, working alongside Johan Lang, and the both sporting directors. Now, two sporting directors is not an unusual thing in some Premier League clubs and some European clubs. It's a sort of the norm now. So maybe Tottenham might be a little bit late to the party. But he was asked the question, how will it work out? How will it work with Paratici's return? And he says, obviously, Fabio worked as a consultant for the club, so I met him a few times in the last couple of months. I'm looking forward to getting to know him more. Of course, when it's more day to day, you will get to know each other even better. I'm looking forward to the work together. I'm not in any doubt that Fabio, Johan, and I and Vinay will create a very strong team, and together I'm convinced that we can create something very good. I'm used to working with two sporting directors. I did that for 9 years in Brentford. I actually think you need to these days to cover everything because it's such a big job, and I think also two of them complement each other. Now, look, for me, I'm waiting to see how this goes, but I just think this is the same way with Steve Hitchen when Paratici came in first with Steve Hitchen and eventually just phased Steve Hitchen out. But is it now too big of a job for one person? We have to wait and see. January is going to be so important. They need to be planning for January now, if not for next summer. And I feel with Paratici in there doing these bits, doing what he does best, I think we're in very capable hands. On there. But I'm glad Thomas Frank, and look, he's used to working with, he says it there in his press conference, in his answer, he's used to working with two sporting directors. So I think that's great. And I think if he's used to that system, you want to put in the system that Thomas Frank understands, can work around and really feel comfortable working in. But you know, we have to see what the Don can do. He's back now, and let's see can he bring in some decent players. I want to say big up to Mary says Colo fell in his ass and got a yellow card. Dom is a bust. Yeah, I agree. Big up to Philip Brady. Hope you're feeling better, Philip. I know you've got a bit of the flu, so everyone in chat, please wish Philip better. He is dying with the flu at the moment. I spoke to him earlier today, and he does not sound a well bunny. It says 4-1 last season, same again would be good. Yeah, it really would be. Big up to Spurs side chat. Big up to your Spurs side chat. I reckon we'll win the league this year. I have this feeling. Look, if we win the league, I'll do this. If we win the league, I will do this the first show of next season in my boxer shorts. I tell you that now. Look, I would love us to win the league, but yeah, that's how confident I am that we might not win the league this year. That I will do that. So you can clip that if you like. Unrelated to us, but Benitez is rumored to have had contact with Forest. He was going to Panathinaikos until a few hours ago. Ooh, yeah. I don't know. I think they made a cock up sacking Nuno. I really do. I really do. So we have to wait and see what happens. Or either Colo over Solanke. Do you know what? We have to wait and see in that. And then Philip said he can go to Panathinaikos with Forest Saka next month. That's so true. Philip, let me know what you think of the Ange Saka. Are you surprised? Are you a little bit? Do you think it's karma for Forest of how they would treat us? Look, another thing as well. I do feel sorry for Ange in one way because he just come out of temporary digs. He just got himself an apartment. Now he's got an apartment that he's probably got to pay for. He's probably taken, I don't know if he's renting it or whatever, but he's got the apartment. They've moved there. So, do you know, I don't know. I just very harsh. in all fairness, who would want to go to Forest? Yeah, who would want to go there? I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Um, Thomas Frank then was asked us, will you hope to have the final say if it's a player potentially in January or the summer? Now, this same question was asked to Ange last season as well. And I think it's the same sort of answer. Yes, I will have the final answer. That was basically what he's saying. But he says, I always have the final say. You know that. Of course, in the end, it's a teamwork. I'm pretty sure of one of the, I would say, three of us, because Vinay is the same, not technically technical, or whatever you call it, of course, but he will have an opinion. But the three of us need to agree. And if one, let's take an example, it doesn't um sorry, he will have an opinion, but the three of us need to agree. And if one, let's take an example, it doesn't matter if it's me, Fabio, and it's very, very, very strong, they should not be the player, then that's probably not right. So I'm pretty sure that we will find a good way to do it. I think it should be I think it should be the manager's choice. Whoever comes in, it's his decision. Do you know? Do you know my decision, rightly or wrongly? Then it was asked, you've 7 games in 22 days coming up after the start of the season. Does that fill you with excitement, not apprehension? He answered that, yeah, definitely we have a lot. We love to play games. Every footballer loves to play games instead of training. Coaches, we like to train a little bit more sometimes, but in January, we love to play games. We have a fantastic run of games ahead of us, starting with Villa on Sunday, a top team, a top manager. I respect him a lot. I think what he's done in his career is amazing. What he's created at Villa is fantastic in so many areas. I think they did well in the Champions League last season, almost qualified for the Champions League again, which is very impressive. I think they have a very strong team. So yeah, looking forward to it. And look, we got a lot of games coming up, haven't we? We've got the league, we've got the Champions League, we've got the fourth round of the League Cup as well. So we've got a lot of games, 7 games in the next 22 days. It's just it's just, yeah, we're gonna have to use the squad, and this is where you need a squad to play all these games. And then the last question says, do you think it would be likely we see Dominic Solanke before the next international break? Will you have him? Will you have to be cautious with him? And I think, look, you're going to have to be cautious with him because of his ankle injury. Um, and I think you got to take your time with him. Sadly, it says, I think the good thing is positive. He's progressing now. He's still training on his own, so I don't want to be too excited or too negative either way. I'm actually taking a little bit day by day and week by week to see how quickly he progresses. Dom is a naturally fit player. They are some players that naturally get that fitness up to a high level. But of course, also he's taken into consideration he's basically hasn't trained with the team since July. That's not to say it will take 3 months to get him up to pace. It will take a little bit of time to get up to pace. How long, I don't know. And I think if you look at the strikers we've got, I think Solanke might be the best option out there. But are we missing him? I think we are in a way. I think we are missing his link up play, but we have to get it right so he doesn't come back and then end up then just getting injured again and not being around for the rest of the season. But that was a good bit of Thomas Frank's press conference. And I hope you enjoyed. It's something we're going to try to do before every game. Since we're playing tomorrow, that's why I'm doing it today now. If we're playing on the Saturday, it will be played on it will be played the day before the game, especially with the Champions League this week, which I think we're playing on a Wednesday. This show will be out Tuesday evening as well. So please do look out for it. Just go through the chat one more and then we'll end off there because we are back at 8 tonight. If you're a member, tune in to the members show at 8 where we give our pre-game thoughts to Villa coming up and more stats, a little bit history as well, and a little bit of time goes by. So we've got all that coming up tonight. Where was I? Yeah, he knew he was gone when they showed the empty owner's chair during the second half. Hope Ange gets a few million for it. I say he will. I say he will, Philip. I say he will indeed. 7 games in 22 days, just wrong. It's just wrong. It's football now, isn't it? That's the thing. It is football. We're just a goalkeeper and a left winger of being something special. Do you know what? I wouldn't disagree. I wouldn't disagree with that. Sorry. I always get an itchy ear with these earpods. I wouldn't disagree with that. Big up to Mary W. Hope not Solanke, total donkey. Look, he's not the greatest striker in the world, is he? To be fair, but he's our donkey, so we've got to look after him. And big up to Luke Chapman. My Northampton Town season bad. I'm sorry about that, Luke. But guys, that is Tottenham Hotspur after the presser. We are back at 8 for you members, for your member show, the pre-game thoughts at 8. So join me then. And then tomorrow we've got the watch along at 1:30. And then also match reactions and final score on Monday as well to go over all the game on Sunday. And also I might get a few lads to join me as we go over the Premier League as well and have a bit of a Premier League chat. But guys, thank you all for watching. Back at 8. If you're a member, I see you then. Come on, you Spurs. In Thomas Frank we trust. Come on, you Spurs.